Good morning. I'm Theodore Roosevelt. The first escapade the White House gang committed, as I remember, was directed toward the portrait of Andrew Jackson. Some very fine shots had been made with spitballs, and very soon Old Hickory was so covered with them that the boys dragged a chair under the portrait to arrange the wet lumps into designs. There were 3 on his forehead, like an Arabian dancer, Quentin remarked, and a wet lump on each ear. A poultice of masticated newspaper was set upon the end of Jackson's nose to scare away the flies, the boys said. Then a gob was put over each of the buttons of Jackson's coat. When the boys finished, Jackson presented a startling appearance, and the boys were very proud of their work. But they soon forgot about it and went to more boisterous and active adventures. Later, the White House gang, which had been invited to spend the night, went to bed. After the boys were asleep, I was walking through the great old house, and I saw the portrait. I'd pulled Quentin from his bed, and without the slightest explanation, I took him. Quentin returned to the room and quietly reported to the boys he had personally taken down every spitball, but he did not mention that I had made him do it. In the morning, Quentin and the gang stood before me, and I was staring sternly at the portrait, rubbing my glasses vigorously with my handkerchief. "Who stuck the first spitball?" I asked fiercely. Quentin, Charlie, and Dick all confessed at the same time. "Impossible," I said. "It's all very sporting to try to take the blame for one another, but I want the truth." "I think I did," Quentin answered. "You think?" I replied. "Yes, sir," said Quentin. "I don't like this," I said. "There is some uncertainty here, some reluctance. Here is a case for a trial. Oh yes, the honorable court." But just then an usher interrupted with a message. "Later," I told him. "Later. I'm dispensing justice." I sat in a chair directly beneath the portrait. "Now the truth of this," I demanded. "Just imagine how I would feel if you rowdies, gangsters, and villains threw spitballs at my portrait." Quentin was amused by this. "You wouldn't mind a bit," he said. "Besides, Andrew Jackson doesn't know. He's dead." "What?" I replied. "No, I suppose I really wouldn't mind. And you're right, of course, about Jackson's being dead. But how do you come by the information that he doesn't know? You can't be sure of that, can you? Moreover, boys, this isn't your portrait. It belongs to the government. You're a very small shareholder in it, very small indeed. In selecting a portrait as a target, however, he's better than a live president to sling things at, although the act is far more cowardly. And in the future, remember, you must not." I then gave the boys a vigorous lecture on the respect of property. The finding of the court was guilty, altogether guilty. The sentence of the court: Quentin may not see any of his friends for 1 week. You are his friends, I told them, so you can't come to the White House for 7 whole days. As I left the boys, I said over my shoulder, "The truth! The truth! Next time, remember, be quicker with the truth."